All right, I just did a run through on this song, and I didn't like the way I sound. I'm gonna try it one more time. If it don't come out right, it's gonna have to go on hold. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. For I can't help falling in love with you. Well, that's the second try. Man, my eyes feel rough. Oh man, it hit me this morning with everything that's went on this weekend. And I think from around 7:15 when I got to work till about 11 something this morning, I was something else. And thank the Lord I work by myself and I could be to myself and not be seen, and get through all of this the way my mind works. I'm not one of those people that does a big dramatic cry thing in front of people and stuff like that. I got to be to myself. I have to go away from everybody and deal with it on my own. From today's word, my other aunt went and spent about 30 minutes with her. And my mother's middle name is Jo. And when she started keeping little kids and stuff, she would have them call her that because it was easier for them to say. Well, my aunt picked it up. And she would call Mom or Dad. And today, the nurse walked in the room and asked my other aunt, who was Joe? And she told her. And my aunt's been asking for my mama. You know, I did some research today. And to try to understand these seizures with dementia patients. Because my grandmother, who was the mother of my aunt that has this, there goes that thing of flashing. She didn't have seizures. She couldn't remember how to cook or to make coffee. She didn't drive. She gave her keys up. She volunteered. She put them in a drawer in her kitchen. She said, I ain't touching them no more. She never did. I think she got lost one day and never told nobody. Because every morning when she did drive, at a certain time, she'd always went to the post office. That was her little daily trip, to the post office and back home. And I worked at that time in my hometown. And I'd be somewhere, majority of the time I'd run into her. And she decided one day I ain't driving no more. My aunt was a bookkeeper for a CPA. And she did not stop working. Oh, she was in her late 60s, close to 70. She's 70. She was born in 49, October 49. I'm thinking of my mama's age, and then mama's like 2 years older than her. So my aunt's about 74, 73, 74. And my aunt did three things. She went to work, she was at home, or she was at church. She never had kids, and she never got married. She was the middle child, and she never cut loose from my grandma. They stayed in the same house together. If you saw one, you saw the other. And my aunt's the type of person, she'd give you her last dime. And she always looked for the good in people. So, some may want to call her naive. But she just she didn't like to walk around with negativity. But hearing that she's calling for my mama, that kind of got me. And trying to debate whether to go see her tomorrow night. I was wanting to get a little bit more videos, because she's the one that likes to sit and watch my videos. And it's a different page in life, I guess. You just got to roll with the flow. And keep the peace. Because in situations like this, it's easy for family members, whether you're close or not, to tear each other apart. And there ain't nothing, material-wise, that I'm willing to fight over out that house. They're the only family that ever lived in it. That was the house I was taken to after I was born. But I'm going to tell you something, my grandma ain't in that house no more. And when my aunt passes, she ain't in that house anymore neither. So you ain't gonna be looking for me going in there, taking stuff off the wall and arguing over it. I've got my grandmother's Bible. If I get anything of my aunt's, I want a Bible. And after I'm gone, whoever wants it, they can have it. That's my, that's all I want if I get anything. It's just a different day. And we all change as we age. I've changed, oh God, the last year and a half. Between neurology appointments and medical tests, that they can't figure out what the devil's going on. Now, we can see there's difference, but we just don't know what it is. Well, until you figure out what it is, as long as I can put one foot in front of the other, I'm taking my tail to work. And I have done that. This will probably be my last full year of working. I'm really considering retiring first part of next year. This time. And I hope this here picks up so I can bring some income in on it and be able to sit at home and do this. And I'm pretty sure by that time, I'm probably going to have my mother to make a decision to decide whether she wants to stay where she's at or move in here. Because she's going to have to be taken care of. That's the way things went on both sides of my family. The women took care of the women. I was raised by women. And on my father's side, his mother took care of her mother. And my great-grandmother took care of my great-great-grandmother. And my great-great-grandmother was born in 1886, passed away my senior year in high school. And she saw all of her kids pass away except for the one that was taking care of her. And she was in her 80s. My great-grandmother, when she passed, I was in Nashville when I found out she had died. And my dad's mother, she outlived my father. My father died of cancer in 2011. But something had happened to my grandmother, and a neighbor knew something wasn't right. He hadn't seen her out on her porch or anything. So he went over there beating on the door to check on her. And she didn't answer. And then he got to looking through windows and found where she, I think, had passed out in her living room or something or another. And he knew what I did for a living. He figured out where I was working at, and he called me at work and told me what had happened. And let me know what was going on. And I got up with my grandmother's brother. So he lived in Wilmington. So he could come down and help her. And then she ended up moving down there to be closer to him. And on my mom's side, I'm the only child. And I sure as the devil ain't spoiled. Nor did I get everything I wanted neither. Too damn broke to be spoiled. If I was spoiled anything, I was spoiled by my grandmother with her love. But my aunt, that's in the hospital now. She lived with my grandmother and took care of her till she passed. And when I was little, I was either with my grandma or my aunt. And that little world was disappearing. And you're just never ready. No matter how you think about it, try to prepare yourself. You see the signs in front of you. You see your own self aging. And I got to get this here to stop. I can use both sides. The muscles work on both sides. But for some reason, I'm talking out the side. And I didn't used to do that. And I don't know why I'm doing it. When I got my aunt off that floor Saturday, oh, Daddy, the nerves in my thighs were kicking, jumping. And I says, when you got to do something, you gonna do it. And I knew I had to get her off that floor. And that was not my aunt that would do so. After thinking about a lot of stuff this morning, I think she went to get up Saturday morning, and when she went to get up, she had a seizure. And that's how she ended up on that floor. But my mom just didn't walk back there at that time and see her having it. And apparently she hit the floor slowly. I don't know if she slid off the side of the bed or what. But my mom didn't hear anything. If she was having a seizure, she couldn't ask for no help. And I tell you, I really felt like them people, that doctor and them. When I told them Saturday she's having seizures, I don't think they believed me. They were like, well, what did she do when she had it? What did she look like? I'm freaking 54 years old. I know what a daggone seizure looks like. And when it was like an EKG or something, another, not the whole, but they did it, hooked all of it up on her brain. And they actually saw the seizures going on by that. And I felt so vindicated. Dementia and Alzheimer's. It's so cruel. You think cancer is cruel. But it is. My father was skin and bones. He probably didn't weigh 100 pounds when he died. And if you didn't know that was him, you wouldn't have recognized him. But the pastor that baptized me, he ended up with Alzheimer's. And it hit me in a way because they put him in a rest home. And I can't judge because I'm not in their shoes. But it made me think. This man has stood in this church for years and preached. And he can't remember one sermon he's ever preached. The lady, her and her husband started the church here back in the 60s, I think. Yeah, later 60s. She ended up with Alzheimer's. And it hit me again. But here they have preached. And when she preached, she had those eyes like they could look right through you and tell what you're thinking. She did my dedication. And if y'all don't know what a dedication is, it's when you take your baby back to the church and you go before the church. And a prayer is said over the baby. And basically what you're doing is you're thanking God for the child, and you are letting him know that you intend to raise that baby by the ways of the Bible. And she did my dedication. But her husband, they went to Israel. He had gotten something, I can't remember what it was. But he went out to, I think, the Jordan River. And he was healed of whatever it was he had. The last place I think they preached at was around Hickory, North Carolina, Ichard, at the Church of God. He doesn't live around there. They had a son who preached in East Tennessee. I remember when I was little, their daughter, she was a missionary. She would play the piano, Jody. And I always ended up, if I could, I'd be sitting on that piano stool next to her because I wanted to watch her play. I was one of them youngins that I knew if I behaved, I'd get to do what I wanted to do. And if there was any kind of music, I was going to be there in it. And the only person in my family that ever sang that I know of in public was my grandmother, and I was in the church choir. She didn't sing at home. She hummed whenever I'd be going somewhere and have the radio on. You'd always see her sitting there looking out that window, humming. It's just, I guess, the wound of my grandmother passing and Gail being attached to that. It just like it reopened it. But she's still physically here, and she's still calling on my mama. So we haven't lost her completely. And she was never able to tell a joke. She just did not have the right timing. But after getting dementia, she was funny as could be. It was as if she turned into a child. And it was nice to see that side of her. Because I'd never seen it before. But let me shut up. I need to go wipe my nose and see what this song sounds like. So y'all be nice.